cubed pineapple, cut pineapple,
Ooh.
and then tips it.
Let me have a look because now it's close to me. I would pay to support you.
You sort of are, literally.
I know. But the pineapple is yeah.
A step too far for you, kind of.
No, it's all right.
You'd tin
Because there's the hole, you mean? Like putting the pineapple
Nah, the little squares, so they kind of just fall either
just the
side.
syrup.
You know, so yeah, and the squares, but the kind of bits fall
I thought you
either
me-
side,
I-
and it
because-
kind of looks. Ultimately, it kind of looks like a fountain of fruit and foot, all the F's, fruit, foot, and fetish.
We're live. I just thought about the how they
we're
have,
live already.
you know how they have a hole,
Crazy.
like a perfect made hole in the
man.
pineapple. So when you said, I thought you would be like putting the pineapple in like your.
Oh,
toe?
yeah.
That's
like,
what I thought.
like little ringlets.
Speaking of ring, Roimata just broke the bathroom's door. Welcome, Roy.
Hey, Roy.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, like those
kia ora.
sitcoms, Americans. Kia ora.
Charles in charge of our days and our nights.
I really don't know what happened there.
Happy days. It's the Fonz. It's the Aotearoa Fonz. Hey.
I know that was a bit weirdo, but
Summer times, brother. Good to see you.
and you, and you, and you,
And you,
and you, and you,
guys.
and you, and oh, she's gone.
She'll come back.
the audience.
Full house tonight. So we have Papa, as we always do. We have Lucas and Julia, Brazilian Fano. Here we have Chloe Potai behind the scenes, making sure that everything works. Mr. Stupidly. Roimata Taimana.
Yeah.
And Leo Magri.
Charles in charge.
We were still talking about feet.
All right.
Yeah.
No, the right or left?
The left with
The
pineapple.
Left one with pineapple.
Pouring pineapple
pineapple.
syrup out of a
Yeah.
tin slowly.
Feet finder. So for
onto
the
it.
listeners who missed the start of the conversation, we found out that there's a website that we actually knew the girl from. We had a lovely girl coming here. She does the OnlyFans thing. You know the website? Yeah. Do you know?
No.
It's a platform that you can sell videos and content. You can sell all sorts of content, but it
Wow.
got famous for people making more like explicit content. Hey, I can be polite when I want to.
Very.
Yeah, and it's people make good money out of it. And she was telling me that because I was talking about feet, and she was like, there's a specific website for that kind of fetish, which is Feet Finder. Yeah, so there you go. So we were just considering that because podcast has been hard for 2 years. God damn. so maybe putting the feet out there. The face is clearly not working.
Yeah,
the
whatever
voice
it
is not
takes.
working.
Yeah.
Let's go the feet.
Let's go. God damn.
Every year it gets a little bit lower. After that, the soul.
And then we sell the soul. But it's good, man. Yeah, no, we're still there. We're still good. So school holidays right now. The magazine's still going. The podcast still going. It's the last one of the year. So thank you very much, gentlemen.
Last show of the year.
Last one of the year, bro. 239.
Wow. I watched about 80.
Hey, really?
Yeah.
Solid.
Not all the way through, obviously.
Like all the ones that you've been to.
Oh, yeah, like I've been on 80 of them.
You've done a few.
How did you know?
You are on
I
18,
know.
but you've watched 17 of them.
I
No,
know.
no.
Did you have any favorites one that you were in, that you were a part of, or that you watched, or the one that you really liked?
I really enjoyed the jam night we had, actually. Which brings us to Sebastian. Oh,
Fabian. That's his second name, Fabian Sebastian Roberts.
yeah, Sebastian.
Yes, yes. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. Actually, all of them have been really good shows. Yeah, I actually don't have a favourite. They were all good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows where they go as well? Like when you start them. There's been some interesting ones.
There's been some
I
interesting.
really liked Andrew Fagan's one I was on. It
How was the journey to get Andrew Fagan on?
Oh, man. How do you explain? I don't know how to start with it. Oh, like Andrew Fagan from the Mockers, like New Zealand musical legend, and all round interesting guy, sailor, renowned sailor, inspiring character. I've written a song about Andrew actually. But anyway, yeah, we got him on the show, and yeah, it was cool. Performed a couple of his classics, which was wild.
Where did you meet him?
He blew in from a storm. I met him at the Cook's Beach Market. But that was the simple part. He actually literally blew in. We had Cyclone Gabriel.
It's not even a joke.
This is a true story.
True.
Cyclone Gabriel and Andrew turned up in this high vis orange hat, jacket, pants, holding a sailboat, a toy sailboat, and
that sailboat.
Yeah,
there.
there's one in the corner there, and just passed it through the window. And I said, "Do you want to come in?" And he said, "No, I'd rather be wet and dangerous." And then turned around and carried back into the eye of the storm. So it's Andrew, and then we got a bit of music happening later on. But
excellent.
Yeah. And we were talking about him because Stu told me, he was like, "Man, the guy's an OG. He's the shit in New Zealand, like very respected." And then I watched some of the old clips, so I could not actually put a face on the guy, and then I just stopped home for 5 minutes. And then halfway through those 5 minutes, this crazy ass guy rocks up, says that, gives him a boat. I'm like, what's that? What just happened? He's like, that's Andrew Fagan. I'm like, whoa, we got to get him on for sure. Yeah.
we need to play it at some point later. We'll play the song.
That'd be cool.
As a tribute to Andrew.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And the coolest guy, extremely professional.
Yeah.
I love those people. I love all sorts of people, obviously, like the ones that come and say, whatever, let's wing it.
Yep.
Let's go. And I love the professionals ones as well that says, yeah, let's practice. Let's go through this. And I've usually the jams and the rehearsals are even cooler than when you do it.
Totally.
So like just
Totally. As soon as the camera goes on, it's like,
Yeah.
Oh, and that was not the case with him because he's amazing. But like at home practicing, he just let it loose. And that was good fun, eh? Stu?
Oh man.
You had some cool ones. You had just recently Hamilton County Bluegrass.
Yeah, Alan and
Nice.
Julia Rhodes, Potter and musical legend. I tend to be on the shows with musical legends, which is fitting because I'm with two musical legends here.
we are
Yeah,
two here, yes.
yeah. I've been on the show with when Kieran from CFM was on. It was really cool to hear about the history of radio and programming a radio show. Yeah, it's been some real gems.
And as a guest as well, of
As a
course.
guest, yeah.
You came as a guest, which was pretty cool. Some good jams.
Yep.
That was 1 year ago because you played your Christmas song.
Released my EP. Yeah, which you played on drums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a year ago. That was the start of December last year, and with headed by a song I wrote for my dad for Christmas, and it's been a year on, and it's always a special little tune to play to my dad every now and again.
I have heard it.
You have.
Yep.
Good. Busy year, Roy. 2023.
2020 F3. Yeah, she's been pretty hectic, especially the last 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
So for the people who just the storm just brought them here, just like Andrew Fagan. So what's your role? What's your thing?
What's my thing?
Your thing. One of them.
So working in mental health for Descarrego Ohoraki. And it's been a tough year for whānau, tough year for kaimahi, tough year for everyone, I think. And yeah, it's nice when you're working when you come out into the light. And we have had quite a few of those this year, but can't wait for the year to be over. 2023, goodbye, good riddance.
Isn't it funny how we sort of, and we all do it, we bundle it into a year, you know, and then we're like, once it flips over, it's gonna be like a fresh shedding. And of course it does. You try and start new habits and things, but sometimes you're just like, man, let's close the door on that year.
So I wonder how they did in the old days, because they wouldn't have had, it's New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the end of the year.
When that moon fucks off.
Well, yeah.
And then it picks its little white thing back out. It's going to be all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had Afina in Taima. Afina in Taima, you co-hosted that one with me, Chloe, and they came back last week. It was great. And they were talking about following Maramataka.
Beautiful.
And how, it makes much more sense to be in tune with nature, not in tune with the clock of the industry telling you it's 5 p.m.
Yep.
It's time to go.
And in fact, today is Rakanui.
Rakanui?
Yep, full moon. So big energy. Great for planting, great for fishing, great for eeling.
Podcasting.
It's abundance. Probably the best for podcasting.
And jamming.
And jamming. Yeah, Maramataka. So my wife, she plants by the Maramataka. And when she first started learning the Maramataka, I said to her, well, why don't you try something? Plant on a day of Maramataka and plant on a day that's not. So the day came up where it was a good day, so she went and did it. And then a couple of days later, she did it on just a normal day. The ones that she planted on the Maramataka, the ones that she planted on a normal day struggled. And eventually they died. So she is the one that does all our seedlings, and then she brings them down to the garden, ready for putting in the garden, and then I take control after that. And it's a really good team. But yeah, Maramataka, man, it's a beautiful thing.
Oh.
Everybody should learn it.
There you go. Not that hard as well, right?
It's not that hard. You just, I mean, they come with apps. There's an app that you can pick up and chuck on your phone, and then it tells you every day what it's good for today to go fishing, not so good for eeling, not so good for planting, rah. In Te Korowai, if it's going to be a big gathering or hui and there's this discussion that needs to be dealt with, we don't do it on a day that's low energy. The staff find a day that is medium to high, so that we get a better outcome.
Wow, that's cool.
And it works.
Yeah, wow.
It works, because otherwise, if you pick a day that's low in energy and, bad weather or bad fishing, or people are going to be going in the background.
Wow.
Even with their eyes open, they're still going to be asleep. But at least on a day like Rakanui, bling, everyone's awake, alert, alive, and ready to be fed.
Another cool show, something that connects with what you're saying. We had Patrick Salmon, who is a very lovely gentleman, indigenous, innovative, something with technology that he does. And he was talking about it, how it's cool nowadays that you have this Maori knowledge, so rich, and then you have technology to use it. You know, like don't oppose it. Don't feel like, oh, this is not what we are. No, it's part of our lives. So he even named Tekanga instead of Tikanga. He was like Tekanga. To because sometimes he was saying you go to a marae, you go to a place and you don't even know the protocol. You don't even know what to do or how to behave for Maori people, for Pakeha, but mainly for Maori people. And he was saying, you know, like, let's use technology and embrace it. You know, doesn't matter what the government or whatever people are saying. Like, it's all about the people who live in the area where the culture thrives, to make it thrive even more.
And for those that are searching for it too. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you're longing to learn the culture of the indigenous peoples, man, haere mai. I'm still learning. In fact, I'm at kohanga level.
Kohanga level. But you're learning.
But I'm learning, and love it. I was actually reading some text last night, and it suggested to find somebody who speaks it fluently, like a lecturer or somebody who, and then learn from them. So there's quite a few in our little town here. There's quite a few. Yeah, pretty keen. Is it a boy?
It's a what? Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Should we play a tune?
Yeah, I think we should play a tune.
Yeah?
Yeah. What should we play?
Is it okay, boss, if we play a tune? What should we play? Do you want to sing something about the full moon, bro?
About the which?
The full moon. Roimata style. Roimata's.
Oh no!
Yeah.
we got some Let's Go Descarrego things in up our sleeve, as we always do. But it just feels like one of those moments. Yeah. What do you think?
Okay.
Yeah.
See what we can find.
For the beautiful people watching us at home, we are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube now. And the beautiful people in the room. Hey, beautiful people in the room, man. You know, shit.
Hey. Yeah.
You have that skill, Chloe, of getting older and even more beautiful. Doesn't happen often. Say that again. Some people age.
Say it 3 more times. Say it 5 more times.
Some people age and they look even more beautiful. Some people age and they look even more beautiful. Some people age and they look even more beautiful. Not my case.
Yeah.
Sounds out of tune, eh?
Ask the professional man in front of you.
I think it's that last.
There you go, for you, going for a walk right now, listening to this show. This is how an out-of-tune guitar sounds like. Hope you're enjoying it. I'm gonna tune my shaker. I learned with Stu. There you go.
Played for about 2 months. Shining, finding it. God.
No
Totally
claps,
rusty.
goddamn! Why do we bring people to the studio? For fuck's sake!
Man, you need to get an audience applause sign fixed.
You had one job. Nice.
Been a while. It's
Happy
been a
to
while.
be back, Chloe. Happy to be home.
Absolutely.
Thank you. 2 months without playing, Roy. What happened?
Oh, yeah, I just got really busy and stepped out of the rush for a bit. And it shows, obviously. Man.
Not at all, man. You just channel that stuff.
You're fine.
Beautiful.
You get to play music with the people you work with, or the whānau you meet.
Oh.
Like, is it the part of the thing? Like,
Yeah,
just-
some of the whānau that I've worked with in the past, I've taken my guitar in and just made a whole heap of noise for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they go home pretty happy and satisfied. Not so much with the kaimahi. Being up here, and our main office is in Thames, so they do karaoke and party and all that. Gatherings, get-togethers, but yeah, we tend to not go down there that often, which is a shame. 2024 is going to be different. Yeah, so we're heading down for kānohi ki te kānohi, a face-to-face in the new year, which will be good with the whole team. So yeah, we had one probably about maybe 2.5 months ago, which was great to see everybody in the team.
Yeah, how big is the team? At a guess.
I think there's something like 230 all
Wow.
up. That's including the clinics and everything.
Wow.
And if I'm wrong, can somebody just mention it?
They'll text us. They'll let us know.
We can edit that bit later. We'll AI your voice
Yeah,
in to
yeah,
say the
great.
correct number.
But yeah, it's a pretty big team. And it's really good to all get together. When I say all get together, I'm talking about the mental health team.
Are you guys, or you personally, worried about the turn that the new government might take and how that might affect your duties?
You mean the Three Stooges?
Wish I had the harmonica.
Yeah, there's a lot of kōrero going on about the trio that's just stepped into power, running the country. My personal opinion on this government is I don't like it. But what are we going to do? Oh, that's right. We voice our opinion, and we voice it loud enough for them to realise that taking te reo out of everyday life after it's been put back in there, that's I don't think it's going to work out that great. I think people. Well, okay. So a lot of people that I've spoken to about it have actually turned around and says, "I don't care. I'm still going to use it. I'm still going to learn
Probably
it."
use even
Absolutely.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. And
Yeah.
because of what's being said by them, they've gone, nah, not even going to bother. I'm just going to do what we've been doing and learn it. Yeah.
It's very hard to see positive sides on every situation, but you got to believe that people like to rebel. It's a bit of part of our nature of kind of like, what? Is that what they're saying? Oh, we're going to do the opposite then. So
Yeah.
in a weird way, not great, obviously, but a lot might come out of that. Big revolutions come from unsatisfied people.
Yep.
Yeah, I think depressingly though, also there's just a whole bunch of people going, thank goodness. Which is sad.
Yep.
Good, justified in not making any effort, which is why you need to ramp
Whip it up.
harder.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Send the message out there even more. It's scary. You know, it's scary not knowing. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. It's your first time.
Yeah, it is my first time. It's scary not knowing whether or not you're going to have people that you've met and known for quite a long time still sit by you if everything gets shut down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And again, do you, oh no, or do you just say, to hell with it, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing? Which kind of makes sense, to just keep doing what you're doing. And just go as hard as you can. Stay true to yourself. Yeah.
The upsetting thing about that, and that's when democracy gets funny and interesting, is like you want to respect people's opinion, but a lot of the time it messes up with very important foundational relationships. You know, so Brazil had a very recent episode with Bolsonaro, that extreme right wing. I'm not even sure if it was right wing, but like very extreme lunatic.
Yep.
And that divided families. It really splits, you know, like, so I was talking to my sister and she was like, sometimes it's challenging because you always had those group of friends and family, and then suddenly it's the elephant in the room.
Yep.
It's impossible not to talk about those things, you know,
yeah.
like, and that's why I don't like that idea of like, let's not talk about politics. I'm like, it gets to a point that you just can't avoid any messes up with the relationships.
Yep.
It's very hard to go past.
Well, and we've had, you know, we're going into 2024. We've had, you know, nearly 4 years. You know, we've had a few weird years of people being uncertain, you know, about whether we're all on the same page about stuff. You know, nothing threw our differences up into the spotlight like COVID and you know, to realize, whoa, we all have really strong, naturally, quite rightly, opinions about stuff, and it's like, whoa, like, where do you sit? Where do you sit? Where do you sit? Wow, you know. So it's kind of had a few weird years of it now, and you know, not starting with Trump, but man, nothing polarized people more than, you know, divisive nature of
but then the other guy takes over and all the wars start again.
Yep.
You're like, what?
yeah.
Yep.
You had
Crazy.
yeah. So music, so the positive, the good things, right? It's bringing people together the more that we can. I keep talking about that, the groundwork that we do every day, you know, like with the children, with the whānau, with our friends, you know, like, because at the end of the day, it's all we got, you know, like, it's right now, is the day, is the moment with those people, you know, like sharing that love. You know, it sounds like the hippie talk, but I think like that's the problem with it. People see it as the hippie thing when it's just the thing. You just got to be a loving person. Hey,
Let's play One Fine Day.
let's play one fine day, a positive
Roy, can I
message.
grab that guitar, please, brother? Oh, yeah, can I grab your guitar?
Really?
Yeah, please. Is that okay?
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. I've never played this beautiful.
No, so that's awesome.
Played this beautiful thing.
Wow.
Hey, look at it. It's
I do love it when other people play
It's
on the guitar.
I love it too. I like, part of my job as a librarian is to read books to kids, and I love being read to as well.
Nice.
So it's nice to be on the other side. I love hearing other people play guitar. In this case, yeah.
So we have Let's Go Descarrego here, which is Mr. Stu Pedley and Leo Magri. But not that long ago, we had the pleasure to
that might
have
be it.
Corrosive Moses, which is our punk rock trio. Roimata was the host. If you haven't watched that, you're missing out. Listen.
Just gonna quickly give this a. Keep going on the intro, man. I'll give this a little.
And this.
Yeah, that's right. Give it a tweak.
Give it a little tweak.
Let's listen. It sounds fun.
It's the humidity, man. It's pretty hot.
It's pretty hot, kids.
It's getting hot in here.
Hot, kids.
So take off all your shoes.
Take off all your scarves. There we go.
Here we go.
Okay. One fine day, I woke up to find everything was okay. No riots on the street, no black man was beat up by police. And suddenly it felt good to be part of the neighborhood where everybody understood that everything could actually be okay. That one fine day, that one fine day when everything was okay. For one moment, not a single child was thrown out on the street. And for one second, no president thrived in dissonance. And suddenly it felt good, this brotherhood, this sisterhood, where everybody understood life's not a given, life is a gift. That one fine day, that one fine day when everything was okay. Hey, woo! Nah, nah, nah. Let's hear it, come on, guys. Nah, 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 nah. A little bit louder from the audience. Come. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, 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 nah. And suddenly it felt good to be part of a world that could see the potential in his head. This could be the day, this could be the day. That one fine day, that one fine day when everything was okay. Yeah. We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that.
We ain't going out.
We ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that.
We ain't going out.
We ain't going out like that.
All right.
We ain't going out like that.
We ain't going
We
out.
ain't going out like that. We ain't going out like that. Yeah. Thank you for the honor of the guitar.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Anytime.
Thank you. Cheers.
How's Christmas for you, Roy? Do you spend it with the whānau? Do you like Christmas time? Like, do you feel emotionally well with Christmas?
I feel emotionally drained. End of the year. And but this Christmas we had a really beautiful time with my wife's whānau over in Opito, and just chilled, ate, played games, and basically just chatted, and then we went home to a nice clean house.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really cool. It was very nice. It was nice and relaxed. Normally, our Christmases busy. We'd cooking, we're baking, we're digging a hole, we're putting wood in there and stones and lighting it and rah, rah, rah. And then, you know, it's like before you know it, 5-6 hours later, we're like, oh man, full because we just finished having a big fat feed of hangi.
Yeah.
And but yeah, this year it was really nice. I did a triple batch of fry bread, and that's all that was required from me.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, my darling did a pecan pie times 2.
Man, one of my favorites.
Yep. So that was us. We delivered, and then we ate and got fat and tired and went home.
Nap.
Cool. To a tidy house.
To a tidy house.
Sometimes simplifying though, man. Sometimes bringing it back to, let's just do the basic, important stuff.
Yeah.
So getting together.
Yeah, for sure. What about you guys?
Would you like to go first, Pedley?
I went down and saw my whānau in the Manawatu, down Fielding, Palmerston North, pre-Christmas. Just went down, had an early Christmas with my parents, my sister,
Nice.
my boys, and their cousin. And it was very nice. And then just came back and had a very chilled, very basic Christmas here, which is beautiful in itself. Just
To a clean house.
yeah, started clean, but it unfolds beautifully when there's not so much chaos happening as well. For me, it's about the kids and some food, and unfolding very gently. Yep, it's very chill.
We had a good time. It changed for me because it was always about having the whole whānau together, and I have the memories of me, my sister, and my cousins being the kids, you know, at a full Christmas table and having a great time, and the music and the jams. And now that I've been here for 11 years, there's always something to do, but it's just not there.
Yeah.
You know, for
it's
me,
just not the same.
For me, it's not there.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing against Christmas. I wouldn't celebrate Christmas anyway myself. I like the moment of getting together. I love that part of it.
Nice.
But it just feels a bit incomplete. You know, which is interesting, but also gives space for other things to come.
Yep.
You know, because then you make stronger connections with friends. So it's a good time to connect and bring the ones who are on the same situation.
Build a new whānau,
A lot of people in the Coromandel are doing the same. They live here. They don't have their parents close by, or the parents have passed. So it's nice to gel it and make a different celebration. Yeah. But that was always our thing in Brazil. And people find it interesting when I say that we actually celebrate the 24th more, Christmas Eve. So it's very common to bring the whole whānau together, and you eat late. You eat around, like, some families wait until midnight to have dinner, to do a whole Christmas
welcome
thing.
to Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow.
Santa and all the jazz. And so different, definitely different.
Yep.
I like it though, the connection with the new people here, new friends. And it's funny because when I'm 35, so I think and I reflect that the memories that I have, my parents, my uncles and aunties, they were around my age, you know, like 30 something, 40. So it's a very interesting way to see like how my mind is, what I think, like what are the things that I think about, and taking me back to like what my family was thinking, what they doing with work and all that stuff. So it's an interesting way of.
Is in Brazil, is it a thing? Is midnight mass on Christmas Eve a thing?
Yeah. So people watch it on TV. You know, like TV is on,
and they
so
go to.
Yeah, a lot.
This was my favorite.
I
loved as a kid. I loved going to. Sometimes we'd go to bed, and then our parents would wake us up. My mum and her family would go out to where she grew up. Hatapauta College, and would do the midnight mass there, and I loved it, being kind of all sleepy and this huge ceremony that happens at midnight. It was cool, falling asleep in the car on the way back. But yeah, you're talking about eating at midnight sometimes, and I just wondered if it's a thing in Brazil as well.
Yeah. For us, it was a moment to be with the family, but definitely TV was on. The mass was there. Very religious, quite religious Brazil. And then depending on where you are, you go on a cruise, you know, like you drive around the main avenues of your city and there's all the Christmas decoration and all that stuff. So
Full on.
full on. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is an interesting time of the year. It's good to be with family, but every year I become more empathetic with the people who don't have the fun around, who don't celebrate, who don't like. You start to understand why a lot of people actually don't like this time of the year. You know, like really gets to them. So yeah, it's cool to get older and understand those things. You know, when you're younger, you're just kind of like, wow, how can you not like Christmas? Of course, you got mom and dad's there all the time. Of course, you're gonna love it.
And you got presents.
And you got
presents.
Man.
Yeah.
And I just stopped with that, Roy. Like every now and then, you know, I buy something I like to share, but like just the thing with, even for myself, I keep it quite low key as well, like with buying new things for work, for this, for what we're doing, yes, but just sometimes the presence speaks more than the presence, eh? Was it a thing? Oh, the mushroom. It's like a confirmation.
The mushroom spoke.
That was a purposely accidental knock. But
It's beautiful.
ting.
Speaking of whānau, something that I always say is that the people who I met here obviously become my family, you know. You guys, big part of my whānau. And Chloe Potai, who is here in the studio. Come here, Chloe. Chloe co-hosted many Altbays shows right at the start, and it was one of the coolest. But now she's a adult, responsible gentleman, this beautiful man.
You really wasn't planning on doing this.
There you are.
Excellent.
Hello.
Kia ora.
Like your hair. It's looking good.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's been a long time since I've sat here. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, guys.
What have you been up to? What's going on in Chloe's life?
Today I spent a long time at the beach and in the sun, so I'm a bit probably sunstroke and a little bit dehydrated. Very tired. Yeah, big day with the family. It's been great. Just arrived, just started my summer leave yesterday. Yes.
For how long?
Till the second week of Jan. Very lucky.
Nice.
Yes, very lucky, very lucky. Got the new year off. Finished my last flight of the year, coming from San Fran. Yeah, speaking of Christmas, I spent New Zealand Christmas Day in the air. So technically missed it because once we landed,
It was
over.
We land in the US, and so we're a day behind. So it was actually Christmas Eve in the US. And so we had Christmas Day in the US and then departed Christmas Day. And then when we landed back in New Zealand, it was the 27th. So
wow, nuts.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't so bothered. I had a really good crew. I actually swapped onto that flight. So I had two of my favourite people on that flight.
Cool.
It was a bit of a shit flight, actually. The passengers of all, you'd think on Christmas Day, I mean, speaking how hard Christmas Day can be for some people, but you'd kind of think they'd be a little bit jolly. We were a bit dressed up and such, but
it's a bit dour, huh?
fuck, man.
Really? Wow, damn.
Honestly, like it wasn't even comparable to like your average San Fran flight. Like these people were just
Were you on the Grinch flight?
these passengers were terrible.
Wow.
But yeah, no, we had a good crew.
What flight number was that?
The flight number stays the same, so it doesn't actually give away much. But the passengers themselves, fucking hell. But so that's how I spent my NZ Christmas. US Christmas was all good. Me and a crew member went ice skating in Union Square.
Oh, cool.
Just to keep it a bit jolly. But we were a bit tired. It was a one night layover. We had lunch, some dinner, and just hung out and rested.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's your favourite place to lay over?
I have multiple for different reasons.
Yeah.
The Asia layovers are my favourite because I've spent a lot of time in Asia. So Singapore is probably my ultimate favourite because it's my old stomping ground before I started flying as a job, just because I love Singapore.
Yep, loved it.
Old familiar for me. Yeah. Japan's obviously number one as well.
Yeah.
Old familiar.
Cool.
Love the place. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, like I said, I wasn't expecting to be on the table. I was hoping to be in the background. It didn't really come with many comms or anything for me to be said.
Hey, we're all the same. I'm just a guy delivering pizza.
Yeah, I'm just hoping the segue for a new song's not going to start.
I actually thought that this was just like a get-together gathering. And then,
You're telling me I turned up with a six-pack of beer.
Yeah. We've been tricked.
Yeah. So when I text my wife, it says, "Oh, actually, we are going live." She texts back and went, "Ding dong."
Yeah, good on you.
Chloe, tell us more. Tell us more about the whole experience with being on the air for such a long time now. Because when you've stopped coming to the show, what was like maybe 1 year ago?
Yeah.
When you were getting in the job?
Yeah, so I think I stopped counting, but I think I've been flying for maybe over a year and a half now.
Wow.
And I mean, it's good. I mean, it's, I don't know.
Tiring?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you get used to it, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I've definitely worked harder for less, but I mean, coming from hospitality and customer-facing jobs before, I mean, you get used to it, but wrapping my head around fatigue and knowing the difference between being tired and fatigued there is a difference. And like writing myself up and reporting for being fatigued for the very first time was real frightening for me, because it's real serious. Like, work takes fatigue really seriously. I mean, it matters so much because safety is so important. And a large percentage of our job, like, we're not just tea and coffee ladies. We're not just men and ladies, sorry. Like, people think, it's just beef and chicken, tea or coffee and stuff. I don't mean a part of our job is, but we are firefighters, first responders, and it's the moment you start getting tired, it's shocking. I got really upset. And it does take a toll on your body, being awake for so long and having these layovers that people, I was talking to a family member today and she's like, "Oh, you live in the dream." I'm like, that's what you see on Instagram. Like, and I am having a good time. Cause I mean, I do get to wake up in a different city, in a different country every other week or something. But, that's when I managed to get out of the hotel. A family member even mentioned, like, "You're the palest I've ever seen you in your life." And I was like, I know, it's because I don't really get much sun, because I don't actually get out often. Even when I am back in New Zealand, I'm resting. And it really is a lifestyle job. And yeah, I don't know, you do get used to it, but you really are juggling so many things at so many times. I don't know how I can't fathom how people would have dependents and children and stuff. Like, I mean, obviously you'd have a partner and stuff. You'd have to be really good at managing things, which I'm really not that good at, and planning ahead. Like, anytime I have like 2-3 days off in a row, I'm like getting just as tired because I'm trying to knock away all my chores and errands all at once, as well as just so I can have a whole day where I can just literally sit and do nothing. And make more mess that I have to clean up again anyway.
So what's the longest flight that you're on?
Because so I fly international and we do direct. And I think our longest flight at the moment is, with no delays or disruption, is New York. So I think it's a 16-hour.
Wow.
Over 16 hours.
Non-stop.
Wow. Yeah, so all our flights are non-stop.
Wow. You must feel like, you're talking about fatigue, but you must feel it in your body as well. Like the plane messes with you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's a small, like, sort of aesthetic things, the cosmetic things, like your skin, your eyes, your nails get brittle, your mouth, taste buds, your lips. Like, I mean, I remember early on, I made the mistake of losing or forgetting my lip balm or lipstick, lip gloss once. And it was the most disastrous thing I could have ever done. Like, moisturizer for your hands and your skin. Your simple thing, like, I mean, people should know, having good shoes. But yeah, having good shoes, stretching, your posture, because you're on your feet all the time. Even when, like, because night flights, the cabins, everyone goes to sleep, well, tends to, right? But we're still awake. We have to stay awake. We have to be alert. And you're drinking caffeine, and, like, coming from hospo, I remember working in a cafe, you tend to build up a tendency for a tolerance, for caffeine, and I remember knocking back so many cups of espresso, and it was nothing. But then coming into my job, I tend to not drink so much caffeine anymore, and I realised I'm knocking away all this caffeine, and I was like, I want to stop. So I'm sitting there, but you're going to have to figure out a way to manage, your alertness and stuff, and I didn't want to fall back into that. But yeah, but you don't want to rely on these things, but then you can't be falling asleep in your jump seat, and but anyway, the cabin's asleep, but yeah, you're sitting there twiddling thumbs, and but I don't know, it's just a whole lot of things, but you rely on, it is kind of hardcore, but you rely on your crew. The odd day you find you have a shit crew, like, is probably one of the worst days ever.
Have you made some cool friends though, like some
Absolutely, like there's some people I've fallen like head over heels in love with, like, and I think I'll be friends with for in and out of this job for the rest of my life, I think. Actually, and two of them were the ones that I purposely swapped on to my last flight, this terrible San Fran flight for, and they made it the best flight of the, well, not best flight of the year, but one of them worthwhile ones, yeah.
So what's the longest that you can work? Like they can go for days and then you have to stop. So how does it work?
So there are lots of sort of legalities around flying and flying hours. So there's like international flying laws, so CAA flying laws. So there's like there's a thing called like continuous flying, where so like things like domestic and short haul and like regional flying, where they can do like Wellington to Christchurch, Christchurch to Auckland, Auckland to Wellington, those sorts of flights, and they can do a certain amount of hours in a day. Whereas like for me, some other companies, like, so I'll only do one port to one port, which is called like one sector flights, and then a layover in a certain sector back, and that's sort of what my company's policy is, but it's within bounds of CAA law, and it will slightly vary compared to some other companies that will sort of push it right in to fit CAA law. If that makes sense without leading on to a little bit too much, but so there are different bounds in that, and then there are certain things that are bound to like my contract. So there are certain things that like our unions fight for to allow for rest, because some things and some people will real push us, whereas but this is where things like rest and fatigue are important, because it's not deemed safe, because
totally.
and alertness is important. I think I just said the same thing twice, but like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you can't, like, you're able to do it. Your odd Joe bloke might be, but not everyone is. So we had a situation recently where there was a flight that was what we call on blocks, which is when it essentially pushes, everyone's boarded, cabin crew are on from the gate, and the plane leaves, like goes to pull off the gate and goes towards the taxi. Something happens. They have to pull back on, everyone disembarks. So the cabin crew now, the plane's delayed, whole flight's delayed, but the cabin crew are stuck at the gate for like 6 hours. Wow. So this becomes a whole union thing, and everything's happening.
Is that something that they call neck minute?
Yeah, I suppose so. It's perfect time for it. But I mean, if you said it, no one would be happy. But this is like a thing where all these clauses and these things like rest and fatigue and stuff come in, because everyone's different. No one flies on set rosters, and no one's rosters are the same. So all crew, every flight, a different crew. You'll never fly with the same person often. I mean, you might get double ups. Like I might fly with Stu today on a flight, but I might not see him for another 6 months. But my next flight in 2 days, I might fly with you. My next flight and the next day might be you, because they're all different. They are a switch out crew often every flight, because it's to help keep everyone alert, if that makes sense.
Otherwise you get too comfortable.
They try to avoid complacency, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but so like, and
it's like the psychology and
it's really important. Yeah, it's so intense.
Holy
like,
hell. Wow.
Yeah, and then you get people sit there and they're just like, "You're a tea and coffee lady," and I'm like, "I'm absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'll save your life if I need to, but if you're going to talk to me like that, you're not going to get your tea or coffee. You suck.
You'll just get a glass of water.
Here's your cold coffee." Yeah.
So what happens if you come across a fellow crew member who you don't get on with, and you're up there for 16 hours? Can you just open up the emergency door?
I mean, I would love to say I pack a parachute, but hypothetically, no, you just kind of do. You just do your job.
You got to do it, eh?
You just do your job.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, we're adults. You're not there to make friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
True to the word.
yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you guys know me by now. I love to be friends with everyone. That was probably one of the hardest things I had to come to terms with the job, is I can't be friends with everyone. Yeah, but no, I mean, in saying all of that, it is a really fun job. But it's not for the week. It's definitely not for the week.
Yeah,
And no, it's a good job though. It's fun. I mean, I'm pretty lucky, but they are pretty strict.
I get weak knees when my wife says, "Oh, we're going to fly to Thailand." Fly. so that's definitely not my type of job that I would, be keen on doing. I even get weak knees when I fly from Auckland to Christchurch or Auckland to Wellington. So 16 hours in the air, man.
Yeah.
That's full on.
It's funny. I used to travel quite a bit before this job, and I mean, I kind of just fell into this job, but I never took notice of what flight attendants did in the background, because I'm an easy sleeper. I can sleep anywhere. So anytime I got on a plane, and I used to fly international all the time as a passenger, I used to just get on and just go to sleep and would just be woken up for a meal. So I never took notice of what they did in the background or anything. So the moment I got on board, I was like, oh, you guys do so much.
Wow.
It's like, whoa,
Yeah.
so much to it. And it's like, I wonder how many passengers don't take notice of us.
All of those
So
that are
many
sleeping.
don't. All 300 of them don't care. They blatantly
Even
don't.
just with like the whole watching them, you guys managing people putting their friggin' bags, and it's like, God, it's like so diplomatic, and everyone wants to have their bag close to them and be the first to open up and get their bag out at the end. It's like you got to manage people's neuroticism, eh? It's like,
But isn't it funny how you're sitting there, the plane pulls in,
you've got a story, right?
the bell goes ding, and everybody just goes
Yeah.
scrambles for the bag, and then they
stands there for
stand
20
there.
minutes.
And they're still like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we wait in line. It's,
Yeah.
it's the race to
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you just wait?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all gonna. Yeah.
Just let them all go first, and then grab. Yeah, it's crazy. But what's your story?
Oh, it's not really a story. It was actually a question. So like, do you guys wear your seatbelt in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
Do you guys wear your seatbelt? Like, say if the car wasn't on but it was still moving, like, would you wear your seatbelt still?
If it wasn't, sorry, if
Like,
it was,
if the engine wasn't necessarily running, like, but it was still moving, would you still be wearing your seatbelt?
the engine wasn't running.
Yeah, but it was like
be a bit
moving. No,
worried.
but it was rolling. Like, okay, hear me out. Like, sorry, that maybe it wasn't.
How
wasn't
fast
the
is it rolling?
Great,
and the steering's locked.
Maybe it wasn't the greatest metaphor. Sorry, but because I always try to give this comparison to people because. So we're kind of, obviously we're not flying, we're on the ground, but we're
Yeah.
still taxiing.
Yeah.
And people like take their seatbelt off and you hear multiple PAs because like, and they can see
Yeah.
that cabin crew
Yeah,
have their
right.
seatbelt on. People are like, bang. And they're sitting right in front of me and I'm like, can you please put your seatbelt back on? And they're like, oh, put it on. And then they're like, clip. And I'm like, do you not wear your seatbelt in the car? And they're like, oh. I'm like, oh my God. Like we're in a moving giant tin.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like, I'm like, do you, like, what the hell?
Yeah.
People with children, like infants, and it's called an infant like loop belt. So
Yep.
it's like, it's a normal seat belt, but it has a loop on the back and it loops through their belt. It has to sit on their lap. And they're like, I'm like, do you not care about your child? If there's any turbulence, your child will hit the roof.
Yep.
Wow.
Like
yeah.
your child will hit the roof. Like
Yeah.
I don't care how tightly you think you're gonna hold your child, you're not gonna hold them tighter
Yep,
than a
that's right.
seatbelt. And they're looking at me dead straight. I'm like, please put your child in a seatbelt. And they're like, nah. And I'm like, well, I'm not gonna catch your child, and no, neither are you. And they're like, And I'm like, oh my God. I'm not going to clean up your child off the roof either. And I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to walk away. When I hear a thud, I'm just going to laugh, like, because I'm not going to come back. Like, well, I obviously don't say that, but it's like, what the hell? And I'm just like, do people not wear the seatbelt still in the car? Obviously not, because they won't wear it in a giant plane.
Pretty crazy.
What
yeah.
the hell?
So what does happen? Like if they just refuse to not wear the belt, what?
I mean, when we're in the air, it's not like I'm going to be like, hey, pilot, we need
Get
to
'em
land the
off.
plane.
Yeah.
Some
Do
people
you just leave
expect us
them?
though to do stuff like that. They're like, look, I'm having a bad time. Like, can you call the pilot to tell him to like slow the plane down or something? And I'm like, oh yeah, all good. Like, it's like we're on a bus. Like, 0800, hey pilot, like, can you stop
Can
the
you
bumps,
just chill?
babe? Like, oh my god, this passenger's like can't sleep. Can you just
Can you
like
send them to
quiet can you
the-
quiet the engines down? Like, put them on silent? Like, no, like.
Can you go downstairs and find your bag in the bag?
There's something about being at high altitudes, which is an actual thing. It's called like hypoxia, like when you don't get enough oxygen and stuff like that. But that just makes people silly. It's just, I thought I heard it all being around like and serving alcohol and working in bars and stuff like that and being a partier myself. But nah, nothing compares to being in the air. Like I've seen and heard and witnessed some absolutely wacky stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, people are just mental. Something about being in the air just makes people
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's end it there. I'm running out of stuff to say, and I don't really want to say much more because I don't know how much I've said is like all good. I don't want to get a phone call tomorrow and being like, "Yeah, Chloe,
You're going on this special flight tomorrow.
yeah, I think you need to come
Never
in for
to
a meeting."
return.
And no, all of it was all good.
You're all good, but I would just love to listen if there was something that you can share about something that you heard from someone. They were like, "Whoa, that's a good story from a passenger." Before you go,
Sorry?
something that you can share. Like, was there something that someone told you
About
you can share? They just found funny.
Anything.
So that people get funny. Was it
like a story about a passenger on board.
yes, or something that you can share.
Oh, I mean, it's a little bit sad.
Good. That's good.
Okay.
On with the headphones.
Okay,
I'll
so,
just,
like-
here, I'll just get another beer ready because
Yeah,
it
sure.
sounds like
I might
a
need a
good
beer.
story.
Can you grab my beer, babe? I'm gonna need this.
Wow, here we go.
Leo
Wow.
and
Okay,
Lens 2
I
are
mean,
ready for the
I'm-
react.
If anyone who has ever seen me on here before knows that I'm actually really bad at explaining things, but give me a second. I hope this video doesn't do well. I'm sorry. I hope this is the one video that doesn't do well.
Or at least this bit, when you watch the viewer, it just dips.
Yeah,
before
just hope
this.
it just
We
dies.
recently-
Something happens with the
We
upload.
recently
like,
had
okay.
a clip with 3 million views, just to let you know. Carry on.
Okay, so during my ground training, there was like a couple classes that I met at ground training, and I became friends with them. And so a few friends of mine out of their class group got their wings first, and I was still in touch with them. And one of them was on one of their like familial sign-off flights first, and went international. And there was a lady who, unfortunately, like she had like dementia, and they were on a long haul flight, and this is really sad. And she was traveling with someone, but this person was like really, really unhelpful, and quite frankly, just didn't do much to help. But long story short, she progressively got worse and worse and worse in terms of like not being being sort of coherent. And she was like doing small things where like crew could help and support her, or being quite nice and sort of kind of coddling her and sort of, sorry ma'am, you need to come take your seat, and like small things like reminding her to put her seatbelt on and helping her. And she'd wander around and I'd kind of just be like, come on, like, meh, 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 meh. And then it kind of got progressively worse because they'd find her in the middle of the night and she'd be like hanging around one of the doors, and it's like people can walk around because it's extra space, but it's sort of like because they knew sort of her condition and she was acting a bit funny, they needed to keep an eye on her. And then her hands would be like on the handle, door handle and stuff.
Ooh-wee.
So I was like, okay, this is a bit more serious now, like maybe you need to be in a seat. And then she was like complaining about going to the loo and stuff like this. And a bit fast forward, essentially she was found in the middle of the night, like in one of the galleys that kind of gets like shut down in the middle of the night. It gets turned off and is sort of just set up as like a water station, so it's unmanned. And she essentially she like took her pants off and took a shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Right there on the ground.
Oh, yo.
Yeah. And this was a ground so this was my friend's like first or second flight ever. Yeah. She was like 21.
Wow.
This was her first ever flight, like
Wow.
first or second flight after ground training. And it was pretty sad. Like, yeah. So
Wow.
it's pretty traumatizing.
You're talking about
To
the
clean
door.
up someone else's human shit. A grown person's human shit.
Yeah,
off the
wow.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah. And the door handles, can you, like, I've always wondered, I guess like lots of people wonder, can actually doing anything with those handles do anything, or is that all disengaged?
Ooh, sounds like.
Oh, is this something you guys aren't allowed to talk about? Okay.
Chloe, put that in.
Hey! Oh, what about couples going into the toilets together? You must see that all the time.
So people ask,
Did you notice the way?
ask us.
Did you notice the way he asked that?
Hey, goodbye.
People ask us all the time, and if you actually freaking knew how filthy those bathrooms are, absolutely not. Okay, yeah, that's
Do you mean like, as in like the bacterial filthy, or like how
it's
much
not water
action
on the
they
floor.
see?
It's not water on the floor.
Hey,
And that's not soap by the sink.
Wow. Stick around. We're going to enter the foot section again for the next after this short break.
So if you want to hire Chloe, she's going to need a job after this. Fucking hell, woman. Hey, let's wrap this up so we can go and party. 239 shows.
239.
Almost 2 years that we've been on. Chloe, you are a star. We love you so much. Roimata, legendary, always present. Even when you're not present, you're like, I'm coming.
Are we there?
I'm coming. Are we going live? Okay, I'll be there. Pedley, my dear brother, always ready as well. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Beautiful people watching us. Tanya is watching us. Casper is watching us. Fabian Roberts is watching us. A lot of cool people. All the cool people that I didn't mention but are watching us. Thank you so much. That's why the show is growing. That's why things are happening, because you guys are enjoying the content. So thank you very much. The winner for the double pass is Blaze Young, and she said that she's taking Ash Lambert with her to the Coro Classic, which is pretty cool. So the crew will send you a message, but if you want to send us a DM, we're going to ask for your full name, email, and your number. Score. You go into the Coro Classic with the crew. We are part of the crew that will be at the Coro Classic. We're going to have a cool stand there, and we're taking some local artists to paint some big murals, and it's going to be fun on the 6th of January in Matarangi. So I think it's almost sold out. It's going to be fun. We're still giving a few more tickets, so tune in. I think next week is the last one to get your double pass. And what you have to do, you have to go on this live stream that you're watching right now and ask. You know that like festivals in New Zealand, they don't finish that late, right? We all know that. So the question is, what are we doing after the festival? Where are we going? What are we doing after the festival? Where's the after party? So the most creative answer will get a double pass to the Coro Classic. Again, go on this live stream and answer the question, where are we going after the Coro Classic? Because we got to keep on partying, right? It's summertime. So yeah, if you want to take that pass, that's you. That's us. One more thing. The Flock Media Group is putting the Coro Mind magazine out for 12 months now. Oh, yeah. Do you like it, Roy?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, let me do one thing then. Wait.
It's awesome. Oh, here we
Can you
go.
hold this for me, please? The creator and the creation. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Kia ora, bro.
Issue 11. They're becoming like rare stuff, you know? People will be like, oh, I want my Coro Minds edition 11 with Roimata on the cover. Sorry, my man. They fly out the window. And this one, issue 12, we had the honor to have Mr. Michael Smither on the cover, one of the biggest artist in the world, I would say, because if it's from New Zealand, it's definitely one of the biggest ones in the world. Beautiful stories written by the community in the Coromandel. So if you want to be part of this beautiful project, hello@corominds.nz if you are a business owner and want to advertise smart, because beautiful magazines stay in establishments for a long time, so people can see your ad for a long time.
Beautiful.
Should we play one more song?
Yes.
Yes. Pedley, what would you like to do? You got the power. I got the power.
Yeah,
It's getting kind of heavy.
I like the jams with Roy.
Me too.
Okay.
Are you up for it? Otherwise, I mean, we can play a bunch of songs, but I like the jams with you, man.
I like the jams with you guys too.
Cool. Well, let's do it.
Thank you so much for the beautiful people watching us. Thanks for the beautiful people in the studio. Woohoo! Half of them fell asleep.
Hi, Emil. Might need a new job.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give Chloe a new job. So make sure to keep watching so we can get monetized, so we can pay Chloe.
Half of them have already started up their OnlyFans accounts after hearing how much money can be
Feet
made.
Finder.
Yeah, Feet Finder.
And the other
that
half
right?
walked out right at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Feet Finder, not to be confused with Flight Finder, which is Chloe's one.
We're back next Tuesday. Of course we are. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Choo-choo.
Let it lay. Like a summer breeze, let it lay. Water to my knees, let it be. Like a summer breeze, let it lay. It's been a long, long, long time coming since the winter rain
kite.
Ka kite.